Good afternoon, children. Welcome to the next class of botany. In today's class, we are going to study about the shoot system. In the previous class, in vegetative morphology, we studied about the root system. We studied when the seed germinates, the radical comes out, the radical develops into the root. Okay, now here today we are going to study about the shoot system. Similarly, after the radical develops into the root system, the plumule develops. Plumule is also the part of the embryonal axis. The part of the embryonal axis which grow towards the sunlight, that is the plumule, will develop into the shoot system. So plumule of the embryo of a germinating seeds, they grow into the stem. So the stem development starts from the plumule. The epicartel elongates after embryo growth into the axis that bears leaves from its tips, which contain the actively dividing cells of the shoot called the apical meristem. So here, what is this epicartel? Here, as we have studied, when a seed germinates, it has an embryonal axis. Embryonal axis is an imaginary axis. It has the two regions, the epicartel and the hypocartel. The part of the embryonal axis which is above, which is towards the upper end, that is called as the epicartel, and the part which is towards the lower end, that is called as the hypocartel. So here the epicartel, it elongates after the embryo growth into an axis, that is the stem, and it bears the leaves from its tips. So in the tip region they have what, the apical meristem. This apical meristematic cells, they are in a state of continuous division. So here the tip of the epicartel cells, they have the meristematic cells which is in a continuous state of division. So from this region develops the roots. Further, the cell division and growth results in the formation of a mass of tissue that is called as the leaf primordium. So here they further, as we have studied in the apical meristem, they are in the state of division. They will form a mass of tissues, and that is called as the leaf primordium, or it is called as the leaf initium. The point from which the leaf arises is called the nodes, and the region between the two adjacent nodes is called as the internode. Now here on the stem, the region from where the nodes arise in a stem, that is called as uh, the region from where the leaves arise in a stem, that is called as the nodes. Okay, so here in the nodes only you can find the arrangement of the leaves, or the branches also arises from the nodes. So here the gap between, or the distance between the two successive nodes, is called as the internodes. Now next we will study about the characteristic features of the stem. So first characteristic feature of the stem is aerial, that is it grows above the soil. Aerial means in the air. So the stem, it grows above the soil. It is green in color, it is photosynthetic, and they has nodes and internodes. Second, it is positively phototrophic. Photo means light, trophic means level. So here the stem, it grows towards the sunlight, so it is said to be positively phototrophic. And negatively geotrophic because it grows against the gravity. Next, it has nodes and internodes. The stem bears the vegetative bud or vegetative growth of the plant, the and floral buds for the reproduction, and ends in a terminal bud. So here in the stem we can find the vegetative buds are there, floral buds are there, and terminal buds are there. So the vegetative buds, that is meant for the vegetative growth of the plant, that is increase in the height of the plant, development of the leaves, branches, etc. Floral buds, the floral buds are also present on the stem, that is meant for the development of the flowers. And they have in the terminal buds, in the end of the tip of the stem, they have the terminal buds that is helping in the elongation. The young stem is green and thus carries out photosynthesis. So young stems, they have the photosynthetic pigment, so they are green in color and they help in the process of photosynthesis. Now during reproductive growth, stem bears flowers and fruits. So when the plant matures, so here these stem, they will have the after maturation, after the complete vegetative growth has taken place. So here what will happen, the plants will start producing the flowers and the fruits. So for the formation of this reproductive structure, so as we know the flower is a reproductive structure. So here During the reproductive growth, the stem will have the flowers and the fruits. So when the stem is undergoing reproductive growth, then it will be producing flowers and fruits. Branches arises exogenously. Exogenously means, now here, as we if we take the TS or the anatomy of the stem, if we see, outermost layer is the epidermis, below the epidermis is the cortex cells. Now here, from this cortex cells, when the branching arises, the branches arise from these cortical cells, then it is called as exogenous. Okay. In the case of roots, the branches arise from the pericycle. This pericycle is present deep inside. So in the case of the TS of the root also, if we study, we will have the outermost epidermis, below that the cortex, below the cortex is the endodermis, below endodermis is the pericycle. So pericycle is present innermost. So when the branching takes place from inside, innermost cells, will call it as endogenous. So endogenous branching is seen in roots, exogenous branching is seen in the stem. So exogenous branching means the branching is taking place from the outermost cells of the plants. Okay, so here the outermost cell is the cortex cells. So outer cortex cells, the branching cell takes, then it is called as the exogenous. Now some stem bears multicellular hairs of different kinds. So in some plants, in the young stems, there are present small hair-like outgrowths are present there. That is, the multicellular hairs are present on the surface. So these are the characteristic features of the stem. Next, we are going to study about the functions of the stem. So here, functions of the stem. So here it can be broadly classified into two: primary functions and the secondary function. So primary function, which is done by all the plants, the stems of all the plants are: first one, it provides supports and bears leaves, flowers and fruits. So here the stem is the supporting part for the leaves, flowers and the fruits. The stem only holds all these structures. It transports water and mineral nutrition to other parts from the root. So here transport of the water from the root to the different parts of the plant, that is to the leaves, it is taking place through the stem. Next, it transports food prepared by the leaves to other parts of the plant body. Now food, during the process of photosynthesis, the food which is prepared in the leaves, that is being transported from the leaves to other parts, that is also taking place through the stem, because the phloem is present in the through the phloem present in the stem. So here these are the primary function, that is, it provides support. Second, it helps in the transport of water and minerals. Third, it helps in the transport of food. Along with this, in some plants, some other functions are also performed by the stem. So that we are going to study now. First one is food storage. So as we can see in potato plant, potato tubers, they are underground stem. Okay. Next, ginger, it's also an underground stem. Okay, so here in these stems, the food is stored. As a result, they are swollen. So here in some plants, the food is stored there in the stem. So food storage, example, Solanum tuberosum potato plant, Colocasia, that is the yam, and the Zingiber officinale, that is the ginger. Next, perennation or reproduction. Perennation or reproduction means any structure, vegetative parts, that is used to produce a new plant. Okay, that is, perennation is in a, that means the plant part is in its hidden stage. When it gets a suitable condition, it will help in producing a new plant part. So perennation or reproduction. So again, example for that is Zingiber officinale or curcuma. Curcuma is the turmeric. Water storage, example opensia. You have seen the cactus plant, or in the opensia, the stem is modified into green leafy like structure. Okay, and in this stem they are fleshy, and this fleshy stem they store the water. So in some plants, this stem they store the water. Next is buoyancy. Buoyancy means floating. So in some plants like a Neptunia, that is, you can see the mimosa plant, the touch me not plant. So here the stem they are helping in the floating in the air, in the as well as in the water. Next you can find the other function is photosynthesis. So here in some plants, the stems they perform the function of photosynthesis, as you can see in opensia or ruscus or euphorbia. Next in the protection. In some plants, the stem is modified into thorns or spines that provides protection to the plant. Example citrus, bougainvillea, acacia, etc. Next, support. In some plants, the stem they give support to the plants where the stems they are weak. In those they provide the support. So these are the secondary functions performed by the stem. So as we have studied in the stem, they bears the buds. So here we are going to study next about the buds. Buds are the growing points surrounded by the protective scale leaves. The bud primordium matures into bud. They have compressed axes in which the internodes are not elongated and the young leaves are closed and crowded. So here buds, they are the growing points. Okay. So here the development starts from the bud initial, that is the bud primordium. So here each bud they consist of a compressed axis. The axis is very much shortened. As a result, the leaves they are very close to each other and they are crowded. Okay, and since the axis is compressed, it is pressed. So here what is happening? The internodes they are very short. Okay, and the nodes are very close to each other. So internodes are not elongated, and so the young leaves they are closed and they are crowded. When these buds develop, the internodes elongate and the leaves spread out. So here, when these buds mature, they elongate. What will happen? This internode will increase. As a result, the gap between the leaves also increases. The leaves all spread out. Buds have architecture identical to the original shoot and they develop into lateral branches or may terminate by developing into a flower of inflorescence. So these buds may be they help in the elongation of the shoot or they help in the development of the branches, formation of the branches, or they may also sometimes end by the formation of the flowers on the tip of the plant. Based on the origin, the buds are classified as terminal, lateral, and so here there are basically two types of buds are there, terminal buds or the lateral buds. So here based on the origin where they are present, whether it is present on the tip of the plant, then it is called as the terminal bud or it is also called as the apical bud. If these buds they are present in the side, okay, not in the tip but somewhere in the side in the plant along the length of the stem, if it is present, then it is called as the lateral bud or axillary or axial bud. Based on the functions, they are classified as vegetative bud or floral or reproductive bud. So next, based on the function, whether these buds are meant for the development of any vegetative part or it is meant for the development of the flowers and the fruits, they are classified as vegetative buds or the floral or reproductive buds. So here we are going to study about all these buds in detail. So first one, terminal bud. Terminal bud means the bud which is present at the tip. These buds are present on the apex. Apex means at the tip of the main stem and at the tips of the branches. So here these buds, apical bud or the terminal bud, they are present at the tip of the stem or at the tip of the branches. So they will help in the elongation of the stem or in the elongation of the branches. Next, the lateral bud or the axillary bud. These buds they occur in the axil of the leaves. As we know, the leaves in the stem originate from the nodes. So here in the and these leaves, that is in the axil of the leaves at the base of the leaf. When the bud is present, then it is called as the axillary bud, or it is also called as the lateral bud. Okay, extra axillary bud. Now here, if the bud develops away from the axillary bud, not in the axial position of the leaf, away from the leaf base in the length of the stem apart from the terminal region, if the bud arises, then it is called as extra axillary buds. So these buds are formed at nodes but outside the axil of the leaves, as in Solanum americanum. Accessory buds, an extra bud on either side or above or the axillary bud, then it is called as what, the accessory bud. So here on the either side or above, that is on the both the sides of the along the length of the stem, these buds are present, or in the above the axillary bud it is present, then they are called as the accessory buds. Next is the adventitious buds. The buds arising any part other than the stem are known as the adventitious buds. So here, so in the buds which is developing on any other part of the plant, okay, that is, it may be on the leaf or it may be on the root, then it is called as the adventitious buds. So first one here, among the adventitious buds we are going to study is the radical buds. So radical buds are the buds that arise from the lateral roots which grow into plantlets. So buds developing on the lateral roots, that is the branches of the roots, any buds are developing, and that is leading to the development of a plantlet, young plant, then it is called as the radical bud. Foliar buds. Foliar buds are those that grow on the leaves from veins or from margins of the leaves. So in the margin of the leaf or in the veins of the leaf any buds are present, then it is called as foliar buds. Example you can see in bryophyllum. Bryophyllum you can find in the margin of the leaves we have the buds are present there. So here from these buds new bryophyllum plant can be developed. Next is the colline buds. Some buds they arise directly on the stem, okay, either from the cut pruned ends or from branches, that is from any cut ends or any ends which is being scratched, or from any branches, then it is called as the colline buds. So here adventitious buds function as propagules which are produced on the stem as tubular structures. Now these adventitious buds they are mainly meant for the development of the young plant or the propagation or the development of a young plant. These adventitious buds are present in the plant. Next is the bulbils. Bulbils they are what? They are a multicellular bud-like structure which is present in the plant, which when detached from the plant they develop into a new plant. Bulbils are modified and enlarged but meant for the propagation. Propagation again means what? Developing a new plant. When bulbils detach from the parent plant and fall on the ground, they germinate into new plants and serve as a means for vegetative propagation. So these are the different types of buds we have studied which is present on the stem. Next you are going to study about the types of stem. So there are 4 types of stems are found in the plant. So majority of the angiosperm possess upright, vertical growing erect stem. Okay, they may be of many types. They are excurrent, decurrent, caudex and culm. So excurrent, the main axis show continuous growth, and the lateral branches gradually becoming shorter towards the apex, which gives a conical appearance to the trees. So here excurrent is what? The main axis, the central axis, the main stem of the plant, it keeps on elongating. The branches arises from the side. So here the lowest branch they will be of longer length, that is the lateral branches of the stem, they will be at the lowest branch there will be of longest length. As it grows towards the apex, towards the tip, what will happen? The size of the lateral branching decreases. As a result, towards the tip we find it is a pointed structure. So here this appearance give the stem, this type of growth in the stem gives a conical shape to the plant to the tree, then it is called as excurrent stem. So the stem they are called as the excurrent. So the main axis, the main stem, they keep on elongating. The lateral branches, they as they grow towards the tip, they become shorter in length, and this gives a conical appearance to the tree, then it is called as the excurrent. Next, uh, decurrent. Decurrent is the growth of the lateral branch is more vigorous than that of the main axis. So here the main axis they grow a slow growth, shows a slow growth, whereas the lateral branches they show a rapid elongation. As a result, you can see the shape of the tree is like a round structure. Okay, since all the lateral branches they are spreading at a equal distance, so here this is called as the decurrent. Next is the cortex. Cortex is an unbranched stout cylindrical stem marked with scars of fallen leaves. So here cortex is an unbranched, the stem is unbranched, Okay, so here you can find this in the coconut tree. You can find the stem is unbranched, it is stout, thick, cylindrical in shape. Okay, and you can see along the length of the whole stem there are the mark of the trees. The old trees they fall down, but the leaf mark trace is left there, the scar is left there. So such type of stem they are called as the cortex. Example is Cocos nucifera. Next is the culm. Culm here, they erect stems with distinct nodes and usually hollow internodes clasped by the leaf sheets. Example, majority of grasses including bamboo. So here you can see, all of you might have seen the bamboo. In the bamboo, only in the nodal region they are thick, whereas in the internode region they are hollow. So such type of stems they are called as the culm. So here there are four types of stems are present: excurrent, decurrent, caudex and culm.